Hey everyone and welcome to a new video. Today we will talk about how you can realize your dream of your own first game within your budget and without the need to work with cheap, unreliable freelancers who don't take your project serious. But we will also talk about different AI tools you can use to quickly prototype stuff and plan your development. But let's jump directly in. Every project needs good planning, so this will be our first step. Many customers I talk with make the mistake that they plan their games for months, and even very simple projects which can get planned in not even a week or something like that, they spend months in the planning and never actually start the development. They spend so much time and money in setting up like concept arts or designing the first 100 custom characters for their game that they don't think about like starting the development, but they don't know that all the AI tools we already have out there, like Midjourney or all that stuff, can easily create the first concept arts for the level, for the character designs and all the other stuff. In my opinion, it makes more sense that you split this big project up into like smaller milestones with the most important tasks, and then you like break everything down basically to the core, to the MVP, to like a demo version you have, and then just start developing. And when you see that things don't go in the right direction, you can still do adjustments to this plan basically. But in my opinion, it's very important that like when you have an idea and all that stuff, that you like quickly get started, because otherwise you maybe never like will like actually start or finish anything. But no worries, I will show you in the rest of the video what are the most important points where we focus on. Yeah, but also I noticed that people are spending a lot of time and money on things they didn't really need. The Unreal Engine Marketplace is a great place basically to get a lot of cool things, but people usually make one of the two mistakes here. The first thing is that some people don't even know that it exists and that you can like get characters and all that stuff from, and that you basically don't need everything to do from scratch. And that another mistake basically is that people buy everything from the marketplace and don't even know like how to put this stuff together, and then like hire freelancers which help them to randomly mix everything they bought together, and which will like completely mess up the project, since not every asset pack is made to like work together and everyone have a different coding style and all that stuff basically. So in the end, it's very hard to like, I don't know, merge every random asset pack together. Also, you need to pay attention that everything is multiplayer replicated when you want to build a multiplayer game, and so much stuff is there you need to think about before like randomly mixing everything together. So the most important thing there is that you have reliable people there showing you the right assets to merge together basically. And out there are many developers who tell you, yeah, we need to do everything from scratch, of course, because then they like get a lot more money because it's a lot more time consuming. And on the other hand, there are developers which are unskilled and then like recommend you every asset pack from the marketplace and then like try to combine them together. But in the end, they also don't get it done. And that's the thing we do different, because of course we also recommend asset packs from time to time when it actually makes sense. But we already know the marketplace, we already know the asset packs, since we already worked a lot with those in the past. But we also created frameworks and all that stuff for example, RPGs and first-person shooters, where I will talk a bit more in the next minutes. Another very common issue is that they don't have the budget to start right away with the development. But I also would like you to show some examples how you can get the first funding for your project. Stuff like YouTube videos and devlogs to build up a community which will then pre-order the game, and or like doing crowdfunding and approaching publishers and investors are like more advanced techniques most people think about in the first place, but those techniques makes more sense once you actually have a solid foundation, a demo basically, or a demo game that where you like can capture the first like in-game footage, maybe also some trailers and like render screenshots out, that you actually have something to show basically. But yeah, how do you get the development so far to get this demo to show? Well, this money needs to somehow get out of your own pockets by saving, or of course you can also ask friends and family, but there I would prepare a plan, a roadmap first to like show that to them, or Also, a simple game design document can be a good start there basically. But also here in Germany, there are programs by the government which give you money for digitalization and also like for gaming. This money is a bit hard to get. You need to do a lot of paperwork basically to get that stuff, but maybe in your country you also have similar funding methods you can use. And besides of that, you can also learn, for example, 3D modeling, rigging, or any like skills yourself and offer your service as a freelancer to generate some more money, which you can then save for the game. And the good thing is, when you already build up skills for yourself, like the character modeling or whatever, then you can also help in the development by yourself basically for your own game. And this will also cut down the time and money, of course, which is needed to produce your game. And the only thing I would not recommend you to learn directly would be the development, because that's actually something which can be quite complex and advanced. There are different like techniques to optimize the code, and also like when you, for example, plan to build a multiplayer game, then this is also like completely different. And I also started 6 or 7 years ago, like building my first own game. And during the process where I learned to code and all that stuff, I learned so much that I like frequently restarted the development, and that was like a painful process. But I noticed that there are many techniques basically how you can optimize the code, and also like how you can make the code that it works in multiplayer and all that stuff. And that's stuff you directly need to do in the right way, otherwise you will completely mess up the code and the project in general. But now I also want to give you a little overview, because depending on your budget, there are basically 3 things which would make sense for the first steps basically. If your budget would be around 1 or 2k, then setting up a basic character in a custom-made scene or Unreal Engine asset from the marketplace would be the best thing to like visualize the game, how it will look like in the end, so that you have in the end high resolution images and videos, so you can start your social media marketing or marketing in general to get a bit bigger funding basically. If your budget is already like between 3 and 7k, we can actually help you setting up the first MVP or gameplay or like level design to show how the game will work in the end. And this can also, of course, then get used to like start crowdfunding, so that you can generate more money that we then can further enhance this demo basically. And for bigger projects, it's here also important to set up the planning correctly. In our case, we often set up Trello boards with our clients, because then we like can split up this big project into smaller milestones. We can then assign to team members of our team, and like that you also always have a track about what we are currently working on. And with bigger budgets from 7 to 15k or more, we can already build more complex demos with first missions playable, and with a tutorial where you can really confidentially start a Kickstarter campaign and build up a fan base through their vlogs on YouTube. With those demos, it's also easily possible to go to publishers and showing them that stuff to also get more money to like completely finish the game and all that stuff. But of course, the prices and all that stuff like highly depend on the scope of what you want to do. Now we talked a lot about the preparations basically, so let's get started with the development. The thing here is that it's easy to find good 3D artists and all that stuff. And it's also totally fine to work with freelancers once you know reliable people. But the position of a developer is one of the most important positions basically in the full project. So don't try to save money there. Because here it's very important you have reliable people who believe in the vision of your game which you have. And because constantly switching developers can also mess up the project, because everyone have a different style of coding, and especially cheap freelancers just try to set up something very quickly in an unoptimized way, because they know that you can't pay them for the next 2 or 3 months. So at the end you pay, but you can't really use the stuff in the most cases, because the stuff needs to get reworked and optimized, or maybe even like multiplayer replicated if it's a multiplayer game, and then they don't know what they are doing. So what you need to find basically is a reliable freelancer studio helping you with the development for a longer duration of time, where you also should agree on a monthly amount of hours or something like that where you work on, and like that they can like fully focus on your project. But of course you also should like set up some kind of a Trello board and define the tasks and timeline with them that they need to follow to make sure they really work the amount of the time which got discussed before basically. And also, yeah, they should like send you update videos or playable demos every 2 or 3 days, and once they made any progress, so you can keep track about the progress, but also can talk about like potential changes directly, that they can directly adjust the stuff. That's also, in my opinion, very important, because like once stuff is done, it's often hard to adjust it, but while you're building it, you can easily do adjustments and changes. Here's also one more secret tip no developer will tell you, because most people only want to earn the quick money. So the thing is, it's very important, in my opinion, that you watch out for developers or also people in the internet who creating frameworks by merging asset packs from the marketplace, for example, together and optimize those, or also creating like custom code and stuff, because those systems often work very well as the like foundation for your game. Since there was a team or a person working hard on this project to optimize it. And you can also use this as a, as I mentioned, foundation for your game and customize it. And also here at Neox Entertainment, we made frameworks already for example, first-person shooters and RPG games. And also, of course, all the metaverse frameworks you already saw here on our YouTube channel. And those frameworks, as I mentioned, will like drastically cut down the development costs and time, which also makes it possible to like build games with lower budgets, basically, that you quickly can prototype something and show something to people out there, and basically build a full game and start the crowdfunding quickly, so you quickly also have a return of investment, basically. Okay, so let's say you are with the development on a very good track now. Another very important thing many people don't pay any attention of is actually the marketing and going out with the game and showing it to people and already like build up a like fan base or like a community around the game, which will later buy the game. And that's something you can already do while developing the game, to also have a quicker return of investment, and to also like continuously working on the game, that you are able to do that. And that's really like one of the most important points almost no indie developers caring about. So let's also take a look how you can market your game. Of course, that's also like a very complex topic, which will also be for every game completely different. So that's actually something where you need to like work out a like roadmap or something like that together with someone who has knowledge about it and all that stuff. But that's also something we offer for our customers, basically. But let me give you like some tips or a little overview about what you can do. But before we start with that, one important thing to know is basically that most developers can help you to actually build the game, but when it comes to the marketing, they often have no clue, and otherwise they had already built up a studio around them with like a team and all that stuff, you know. So what you need would be assistance in exactly that area. And we help our clients to work out like go-to-market strategy and the marketing plan that their Kickstarter launch or also the full game launch will get a success. But maybe also here as a small tip for you, there are already many groups and forums out there where you can post your games which are like in progress, or also like once you finished it and all that stuff, and where you can like from time to time post images, videos and all that stuff. And there are also other people who are also working on their first own game, and those people also like can give you feedback, test the game, and this actually can get a great place for them to discover your game. And when it's like convincing them so much, then they will also like play it longer and longer and follow your development progress on your YouTube channel, where you constantly can share news about the development, how everything is going, like devlogs, which I also did in the past, basically, which went really good. But also once you release the game, you can make a bigger YouTube video showing all the features, or some kind of a trailer you can then also post in those forums basically. And once you are able to make the first videos, or also maybe TikToks which like go viral about your game, then you can like actually start launching maybe also like YouTube discovery ads, for example, that other people easily find your game. But there it's important, before you spend any money in ads, that you already be able to make viral videos basically. But that's it for this video. You've got the basics now how you can make your game with Unreal Engine, and also with some AI tools like Midjourney or like ClickUp, which also very soon will get AI features, where I'm also like looking at how all this will go. And even if your budget is limited, I hope I was able to give you some valuable insights. And if you now want to kickstart your game development, because all this maybe still sounds like a lot of work where you could do a lot of things wrong basically and waste a lot of money and time, then better directly do it in the right way together with us, for example. Because over the last 6 years we helped people realizing their dream of their own first game, and we can also help you with that. Our normal process for that looks like that we start with a 15-minute call where we can like together figure out if and how we can help you, and if we then see the potential in your game and we also see that we can help you, then we can schedule another 1-hour call where we will deeply analyze your ideas and work out an individual and universal plan about how you can kickstart your development without or also with us. That's up to you then in the end, but this plan really will give you a clear overview about what you want to create, and with that plan you are also able to do the first steps like without us, or you then can also look out for other freelancers. But this plan will really bring you forward basically. But also if you're more comfortable with like writing first, that's also no problem. Just write me a mail with a rough description about what you want to create, and then I can also already like show you some similar stuff we made in the past, and then also continue from there basically. But those calls really help me to learn more about your games and give you better feedback and also tips you can then directly use. I'm now also looking forward to helping you with your games, but that's it for this video. So thank you very much for watching. Take care. Bye.